bitch. Yo, 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 what's up, what's up? If you guys don't know me, I am Arcteos, challenger, jungler, and coach on EU West, also known as the best UD in the motherfucking world. I play this game for about 13 years, and I've been having a lot of fun with the Classic. I'm gonna make some stuff for SION. This is gonna be sort of a guide, runes and masteries at the end, starting with the E on the red buff, W on the blue buff, is what I found optimal. And we're gonna do a little trick here with the runes and masteries to be able to have enough damage for my W to kill the small raids, to speed up my clear by a lot. You're gonna save like 5 seconds here by having that. So I also played a lot of Rise jungle, I also played a lot of Nunu jungle, some crazy counter jungling. I love my ass off so much. Even though there's no ranked mode yet, I assume it's gonna be added later if you want to be more competitive and learn stuff and improve. There's just so much creativity in this game. We're gonna also have guides for those champions like I said, Rise, Nunu, whatever. I skipped the wolves here to go for the blue buff. Let's just focus up, learn some stuff so you guys can apply it in your own games, have some fun. SION is turbo fucking fun, and I can show you why this build that I'm running, which is like an OG Juggernaut, is so much more effective compared to this cheesy, you either go full crit or full AP, and you pretty much use half of your kit on both builds. This build is really strong because you're using the full power of SION, you're using all 4 abilities, you're using your passive, everything is great. And because now I skill 2 points in W, I skip them, they wouldn't give you level 3 anyway, for the blue buff. I can kill the small wolves in the explosion one shot, and then do the same thing for the respawn rates, which are gonna have higher HP. The 1 point W is not gonna be enough anymore, so we are improving, and I'm having so much fun. Like, some people are gonna be like, oh, the game is gonna be min-max, bro, that's not fun. Bro, doing the min-max is fun. Like, discovering and creating these things is what's really fun for me, besides the gameplay, which, you know, is a bit like chess for the jungling and everything. So now it put me to level 4 before I'm close to a side lane, by avoiding the white and doing the small caps. And that's what you want to do on some junglers. You want to avoid either the single target or the AoE. In this case, SION doesn't have the best single target in early game. I skip the white, I still get level 4 from my pathing pretty early. I gank the side lane, Cho'Gath gets punished, I push out the wave, you get close to level 5 already. And every single decision that you make can punish you or reward you quite a lot. This is what I love about this game. It's not a fucking mobile game season 16 where nothing matters, you just full clear in a straight line. You know, it's just so solved and no options. Literally just like 1 or 2 options. You either start bot side or start top side, or maybe third option, sometimes you choose invade. But here there are literally millions of permutations that are influenced by small things such as runes and masteries on your champions that can alter. For example, if you take the word rune, or if you start extra potions, or if you started extra gold from the masteries. There are so many mind games that I'm already playing with people on PB, like this Lee Sin was master rank, he's master rank. They're not that dumb, like of course, master rank in season 16, branded game, basically silver in classic. But you can do some counter jungling stuff, and now because I rushed to attack speed boots. Why do I rush to attack speed boots? Let's talk a bit about this. I want the early mobility for ganks, I want the clear speed, and they also increase your DPS a lot, because it's a percentage, which is going to be consistent throughout the game, so it doesn't have much attack speed. But it's not just attack speed. 900 gold, very cheap, you can get them really easily early. You also get more life from the insane lifesteal of SION Ultimate. So this is essentially HP boots. They give you damage, they make you tanky, they make you mobile in early game. I really recommend doing this on SION jungle. I'm gonna be maxing W first, for the high base damage, detonation, wave clear, and clear on the AoE camps, still avoiding the white. And I could have recalled here, but I stay on the map, because I could only buy a Spirit Stone, I still had blue buff for a while. The less you recall, keep this in mind, the less you recall on Classic, the more golden XP you get. You only want to recall when it's really valuable. No one is going to tell you when to recall. In Season 16, anybody can recall at any time, it's never bad to do it. It's like brain it. But here, it's a really important decision. Do I want to stay on the map, or do I want to press B? Here, I was very far away from my respawning golem, so I decided to recall to get my spirit stone because my blue buff expired. I'm also able to pick up a longsword. Plus I didn't find a gank in bot lane. You don't just recall randomly. Then, of course, the Cho'Gath is still pretty vulnerable for 30 more seconds. We are both about to hit level 6. Hey, he hit a max on HQ, but now he's gonna disrespect us because I fake that I walk away. We sit in fog a bit. Walks up to trade with Singed, gets slapped. And then we can tank the tower a lot. Singed armor plus regen, and we have the lifesteal from SION. I'm even fucking tanking the tower to clear the wave faster. I have infinite lifesteal. Who gives a fuck? Okay. Hopefully this is not too loud. And now, since I know that the blue buff, he did it second, because I checked his buffs early, I wait around a bit to pick up the blue buff. You wanna play around these things, then I place a ward. SION teleport is very fast. Cho'Gath, he gets ganked again, man. This guy gets targeted, and this SION will either quit the game, who the fuck cares about him, or he will learn from this, improve, avoid it, and start doing it to other people. Hopefully people don't just end up being like, oh my god, the classic sucks, I'm just getting camped, and actually learn, because the game is rewarding. It's very fucking fun to get better and stun people, and this is why people were addicted. You have to understand, guys, why was League of Legends such a global phenomenon, such a successful esport with so many legends? It's not just nostalgia, it's because the game was fucking amazing in the first, 5 years of its existence. This is why it took over Dota and other attempts at making a MOBA. There's a reason League of Legends exists in Season 16 the way it does. You just have to accept that the systems that exist in this game are allowing you for more creativity and more options and more personality, more uniqueness. You can be a super unique player. Well, if I watch a random game of, let's say, a Jarvan in Challenger US right now, it could be 100 fucking different players, bro. Like, it could be Agreen, it could be Natinet, could be Dead Dirt. Who the fuck even knows who is gonna be that player? It could be like anyone. Could be anyone. If you watch them a lot, maybe you're gonna be able to notice some things, but they also like kind of copy stuff from each other. In this game, if you're a fucking beast on your character, you could not really be mistaken for somebody else unless that guy also completely studied and copied everything that you do, right? But people would be able to tell, hey, this is some OG player. Nobody would be mistaking fucking Udyr. I mean, Trick2G's Udyr, right? And so on. But it's so there. Soraka had no boots, I decided to go for the gank, then I'm counter jungling a bit. We kill this Cho'Gath. Hey, if you die in this game, you get punished, bro. You're not like, good dead guys, I proxy farmed, I took the wave, haha, I get ahead, bro. You're gonna lose the wave. You're probably gonna lose the next wave. You're gonna drop something. You have to get better and avoid mistakes and punish mistakes. Takes fucking skill crazy. After maxing my W, max tankiness, high base damage, high wave clear, I'm putting 3 points in E to help my jungle DPS, and we also stack a bit extra health. This is already making me at least 10% tankier. It could be an extra W cast or more auto-tech lifesteal. Just having this 130 HP can allow you to get your whole HP bar back. So don't think it's something small. The HP bars in this version of League of Legends are not big anyway. The HP growth of characters is quite low. And then I'm gonna be maxing my Q for the high base damage and CDR. And we will be building, tanky, frozen heart, get some CDR, get mana, get 40% CDR to max out the value from these abilities. And then because I'm going Spirit of the Elder Lizard, White is, the other options just suck, like Fair Flare, you don't get mana, you have to go Spirit Stone, so you would be 700 delayed on your items. The lifesteal is useless on SION because you already have so much. Like, you're gonna pretty much be lifestealing more from this, essentially, especially at rank 11, rank 2, 3 on your ultimate. And what the fuck is this brand doing, man? I don't know. People are just clueless. It's sort of a for fun game mode, but doesn't mean you can Just play with your friends or whoever, make up some comps, make some threads, and enjoy the fucking video game. Because you know what's fun? In a fun game mode. Fucking feasting and beasting and eating their fucking flesh alive, man. That's what I enjoy to do. And you might be thinking, hey bro, why are you bullying these people? They're just trying to enjoy it for fun game mode. Bro, they're gonna enjoy it more if they study these fucking replays and learn how to play SION the way I do, and then maybe go up against me and fist me. So yeah, pick up Frozen Heart as often as you can if they have AD champions. At least I take Glacial Shroud, amazing component for SION, and sit on it for a while if I don't want to rush Frozen Heart. Because epic items and components in this game, they actually matter. More stuff about Elo Lizard, like not only it gives you a lot of sustain, Ancient Golem is bad because you still get HP from the damage with your lifesteal, and your clear is gonna be too slow. Sign clear on the single target when camps scale up and they get a lot of HP, or if you want to do objectives. It's not that amazing, you know, you don't have Skarner, consistent DPS, or, you know, Mastery. But you have a lot of power still, and this helps me clear minions if I don't want to buy more AP. The caster is still gonna get one-shots, you have really good tempo with that. And if you also want to go spectral raids, it's garbage, like complete garbage. I don't even want to try it. It's 40 AP, 20% spell vamp. It's actually fucking trash. And I tried rushing other items and sitting on Spirit Stone. That also didn't prove to be too good because 1.3k gold, it's not that much. You actually generate a lot of gold from this game. Contrary to what people are saying, I'm getting a full build. I mean, at 30 minutes, sometimes if I'm not doing well, but a lot of the time I'm getting full build even before 30 minutes if I'm snowballing a lot. For example, a game like this, which is not that different from Modern League, I'll be honest with you. So yeah, Spirit of the Elder Lizard I think is the best one. If you want Tenacity, you can also sell this later, or you can even buy the Ancient Golem. We talk more about items at the end of the video. So this guy gets completely fucking rage baited. He doesn't understand my rotations. I press R, go back to fucking full HP and keep pressuring. Why would I fucking recall when I still have a lot of mana and I can press R to heal? Just because I don't have R right now, I'm still strong enough to fight people with my team. Enemies are coming kind of slow on the map. And you can just tower dive them if they don't respect. Like here, what could they do better? Well, they could have not rained it the fuck down in the first place. Or they could give up this tower, or they could wait for more teammates. If they're keeping track of our cooldowns, they would know that I just used my fucking ultimate, so I'm not that strong at tower diving. But we do have Zillion, so if they disrespect us, they will fucking lose. There's a lot of stuff you can do better in this game. Like every single game, so many things that you could be doing better. And even watching the all pro players, I watched LCS, LEC, and LCK, all the show matches. It was really fun. I ain't gonna lie, it was really fun watching those people work together. There's a lot of room for teamwork. You also have aura items that they added from alpha and beta, a lot of them. Just a bunch of items that got removed in maybe season 2, season 1. So that's also interesting. And even though there are quite a bit less items in terms of just like the number of items in this version compared to Modern League, it feels like there's just a lot more diversity and creativity. Because there's no like filler item kind of. And the price points are so different that there's no best in slot most of the time. You can very often find other stuff to buy. Here I went Abyssal Scepter because I still do a lot of stuff with my spells, good ratios. W means more effective health with the AP ratio. And the 20 magic pen is quite broken, especially on a melee character that sits in their face. Since I have a lot of magic damage on my team, and there's no MR growth on race champions in this mode. Brand, he has only 30 MR. If he's not running any runes, or if he doesn't have Soraka passive, he's gonna go negative. Combine it with Rise E or Morgana W, which they reduce MR in this mode, you go negative MR, you take true damage or even increased damage. Above 100%, so that can be crazy. But this is the power of this Bruiser sign, which I wanted to showcase. Sword of the Occult, you can buy any of the stacking ones. I think this is just like a lot more lifesteal and movement speed makes you unkiteable. Leviathan is great, Major is great if you're snowballing those items can work if you know what the fuck you're doing. Frozen Heart, probably the best Sion item in the entire game. Makes your shield hard to break, makes your lifesteal extremely hard to take down. And you see, like, look, I'm lifestealing a lot, bro. Even if I'm hitting just minions, which, you know, have no armor, you lifesteal more. Just with a little bit of a dip from items, I'm healing fucking 200 per auto deck. Ended up getting sniped by an agile Q there. I thought I could take the brand Q. But Goblin sniped me. And I ended up throwing a little bit, dying. Let's move on. This newborn sugar gets picked. Nothing too crazy. We are having some fun, running people down. You don't even need Baron to win. People are saying that these games are long and they're hard to win. It's because people are not coordinated. They troll pick shit, they don't know how to play the game. If you know what the fuck you are doing, if you know when you're able to siege, tower dive people, which you are allowed to do in this game, like sieging matters. You can actually siege even with Baron. You know, diving is possible if enemy team ends up sending a split pusher, you are ahead, they don't have the best wave clear. It's not hard to end. If you know what the fuck you are doing, you will end games even from behind. Like, on certain timers, on certain calls, if your team listens to you, if you're especially playing with friends, you know, your voice, they're listening to your calls, you can end even games when you're down a few thousand gold at 20 minutes. Because they get aced, you push, you tower dive them one by one, these people are noobs. You have so much room for creativity and fun and shit like that. And I know I'm selling League Classic a bit right now, but I just knew that I like these systems a lot more. I don't care that much about, yeah, whatever, we have some like older champions, clunky and stuff like that. But I love the systems in the game. The minions, the towers, the jungle camps, the items. Jungle is like, as I said, millions of possibilities of options. Things that could happen. You're pretty much playing chess instead of Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which is clear in a straight line and sit in a bush for 20 seconds and press recall, which everybody's doing every single game, no matter what, for years now, from Iron to Challenger and Pro Play, where basically jungle might be the most useless role ever. The only difference you make as a pro player in jungle is, in my opinion, like how good you are as a player overall. It's not like much that you're doing in the jungle. Like, watch every single pro play game, bro. They just clean a straight line to bot lane or some shit. It's just about like the picks they can play, the mastery of their characters. It's more of a fighting game, and I do enjoy a lot of stuff about Modern League, but the fun is 100 times more in this game for the most part. And I think it's gonna be even more fun for me because I'm a very competitive person. When they even add rank, and you can grind, and you can actually test your gameplay and strategies around better players. Because, you know, when everybody's a noob, you don't really get challenged. It's not as fun. The reason we all play League of Legends, let's be real, let's be open-minded, is because it's a competitive game. Not everybody enjoys jerking it in ARAM, right? And I know single target games are becoming a lot more popular recently, and people kind of hate competitive games and the toxicity around League of Legends and Dota 2 and stuff like that, but let's be real. The people who actually played a lot of League of Legends, they are pretty competitive. We all enjoy the competitive aspect. It's 5 versus 5. And we also enjoy the team aspect and the variance that comes with the team aspect. Variance in games is good. You want unique experiences. You don't want to feel like everything is repetitive. You pick a mage mid, you one-shot the wave, non-interactive, or you full clear deluxe in a straight line. And this sign is a fucking beast, as you can see. 20 stacks on Sword of the Occult, insane lifesteal. Now let's jump into another game so I can show you more of the power of attack speed boost early, and some of the stuff you can do with Sign, because you want to snowball on this champion. Okay, so I was saying that on Sign, you kind of want to snowball It's not like super conventional jungler where like if both junglers just AFK farm, you probably get a little bit outvalued, although I think SION is just a really strong character by himself because of the durability and point and click CC. You kinda are a disabler. It's similar to just being a Nasus Wither on the AD carry and stuff like that. You can just spam the stun with 40% CTR. Thanks. Okay, so I was saying that on SION, you kinda wanna snowball. It's not like super conventional jungler where like if both junglers just AFK farm, you probably get a little bit outvalued, although I think SION is just a really strong character by himself because of the durability and point and click CC. You kinda are a disabler. It's similar to just being a Nasus Wither on the AD carry and stuff like that. You can just spam the stun with 40% CTR. Tank some damage to lifesteal and shielding, and you'll be useful no matter what, especially if you go for even tankier builds. Which means that I had some games where it was pretty failed, I fell really far behind, and I was still able to be useful and make comebacks. And you will be able to find opportunities no matter what anyway. This Warwick disrespects a lot right now, ended up starting in the jungle. He's a melee character, took a lot of RS before the minion wave came, and he greeted his flash, we ended up killing him. He just doesn't expect the early game damage. No big deal. We had a ward here, so I check he could maybe be on Krugs right now, but he's not. I take this small one. It's gonna give me level 3 here with the mid gank and stuff. Plus the Zillion passive, which is bonus experience, and then you can actually 1 versus 1 the Lee Sin quite easily because his cooldowns are pretty long. He's not gonna have enough DPS with his passive. Mazar tries to help him, but he's just gonna give us another quick kill. I called Tariq to move before I even walked here. He was pushed in, but no, he can just walk out of lane and go for something that's gonna most likely work out. Helping me with a blue buff a bit, I smite it and then I recall 4 attack speed boots. And same thing, if I still have some blue buff, I'm just gonna skip Spirit Stone for the attack speed boots. Protecting my blue buff so Lee Sin doesn't take it. Buffs extremely valuable. You want to be on timer for them if you want to secure yours or steal enemies. You can really snowball for them. Just keep this in mind. Buffs really strong. The rewards are great and you can stay on the map. You're stronger in fights. You know, buffs on jungle in season 16, they're essentially flavor. They don't really have much impact on the game. Maybe make Heartless blue buff is nice, I guess, in early game, but for the most part they don't do much. And now, since I have attack speed boost rush, I'm a much stronger ganker. I catch up to Tristana, which only has 325 MS and 390. And then I know Mazahar and Tristana cannot help this Lee Sin. So since I know he'll be level 4 and I'm level 5 with kind of a combat item, what's the worst that can happen? Even if he would somehow win the fight, it's gonna be easier for me to disengage with this purchase. And people don't just teleport to their fucking lane instantly and miss nothing. You know, in season 16, this is the usual event. You solo kill somebody, and it could be really bad. You could lose the lane from solo killing someone. You know, Timmy can just die and then feel like he can still play the video game at the same pace as the other guys. And yeah, it's literally mechanics for toddlers. We don't give a fuck here. We run through the tower with our W turned on. I even give myself a chance here if Lee Sin wasn't instantly hitting me to explode it because I activated it a bit later. And now we bait him in. I have the movement speed advantage, the red buff slow. Detonate my second W and fucking kill him. Sit the fuck down, kid. Of course, Tristana still in base. Mazahar finally here cannot help his Lee Sin. And they fuck up, they get punished. They just gave me 3 fucking kills. I want you guys to be able to do this as well. This is fucking fun. And we will hopefully grow together as players and everybody's just going to improve. If everyone starts fucking stomping, the people who are getting stomped are also gonna learn how to fucking play, man. And Lee Sin is of course late to the camps, because he's not just respawning in 5 seconds and coming with turbo home guard 1000 movement speed. Now we have some time to take his camps, which are also respawning fast. So we actually have something to take. Then I hit my level 6 with a lifesteal. Kill the fucking Tristana, G motherfucking G, lifesteal on the wave, dive the Thomas Shelby Mazahar as well, recall. And you really have to think deeply about recalls, as I said. Buy the Spirit of the Elder Lizard. This is shit, don't do it. I didn't realize it's unique passive, I wanted to test it since I'm fed. You can do it with, I guess, Regal's Lantern maybe if you want to speed up your clear, but it's not that good to delay your items by 300 gold because you could just be buying some other stairs that also help your clear. And keeping some mana potions in inventory with SION is also useful because it might be enough mana in a fight to get another Q or W off and then you will turn it around. Listen, he has to buy wards if he wants to ward jump because the trinket is very long cooldown. So we just fucking right him to death with the movement speed advantage and he dies. And I'm going to target the enemy red buff. It was the first buff that's gonna spawn. I'm on timer for it. Intentional stuff. And why would you give a fuck? The easiest thing to snowball right now is probably enemy bot lane and mid lane. So we go between towers. And we want to take the blue buff on the other side. Why not go between towers? Easy. We rage bait them a little bit. We goes the way. And it gets even better. It gets even better. Warwick doesn't know what the fuck is happening on his screen. He's playing AP Warwick 04. He wants to have fun. No, man. Oh my god, he wants to have fun. He's a fucking dad of 3 children coming back from work. We don't care, bro. I want to have fun. Feasting this Warwick is fun. I'm 7-0 right now. It's just fun, bro. I want to have fun. Zillion, I go close to him. He presses clarity. It has like a small radius. Now we have mana for every ability. And we fucking kill him. I fake that I'm going back into my jungle, so he walks up a bit more. He just has to be in range for the stun. Doesn't even get to flash. And then guess what? Zillion speeds me up, pop the mana potion, enough mana for Q, hit the Mazahar, and then lifesteal on his fucking Voidling. And he dies from the Zillion bomb. Holy fuck, we are so good at this game, bro. It's like watching a Faker play his first tournament. Crazy shit. Some points in E, as I said. Take his camps, press recall, get a Glacial Shroud. And I just love stuff like this. You can buy multiple epic items, you can buy cheap legendaries, you can greed more expensive items if you are snowballing, you can buy cheaper items if you are snowballing as well. You can just think about a lot of stuff. It's just a lot more cerebral when you don't have this system where every single item is 3k gold, super homogenized. Everyone is playing around 3k gold. The choice between items is very simple because you just have to do most of the time a math equation or like some kind of practicality included into it, and you'll just buy the better item because they all cost the same thing. And components in Season 16 are useless because Freak nerfed all of them, by the way. If you guys don't remember, in Season I think 14, 15, they nerfed every component. Dirk, 20 AD. Brutalizer, 5 lethality. It's just better to buy fucking longsword and shit like that, man. It's just so boring. Like, it's actually so boring. Here I can buy Glacial Shroud and feel good, really good about these stats. I want mana, I want armor to fucking tower dive people. I want cooldown reduction because it's a really good stat on me. And I don't even have to upgrade this to just be happy. And if I want like a... Melody, let's say. That's also like 2k gold. If I want to buy a Trinity Force, I can stack up gold for that. And the components of Trinity Force actually help me build into the item. The Shin here is very strong, the Phage is very strong. The Zeal is very strong, you get permanent movement speed. And the crits hurt. Although to be fair, they make crits to 100% again. Feasting this listen a bit. He tries to keep me under the tower and he doesn't understand that. I'm just way too fucking tanky, man. I can just do whatever I want. I spell the shield, and as you can see, the burn from the red buff is able to finish them off. I mean, the Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Very cool. Pop my ult, see if they try to chase me, they don't get baited. Then I go to lifesteal on this and fight some other people. Hope you guys like this and I can get excited to make some content. Because my last video, by the way, I really appreciate if you guys subscribe, like, comment, all of that shit so we can grow this channel. Because probably not gonna be many League Classic dedicated channels, especially educational ones, where we can be fucking nerds and dorks and, you know, kiss each other. But the last video did really well, like fresh channel, over 2k views in like a fucking day. Yeah, I want to make even better videos. That's why just kind of whatever. I'm just commenting a game a little bit. Don't forget, Wins and Masteries will be at the end of the video. We're just running some noobs down. And the interesting thing is that we actually got aced multiple times in this game, believe it or not. You can make some crazy comebacks in League Classic. I've already made some. Because the champions don't become incredibly overpowered with items and levels like they do in Modern League. Even if I'm full build on SION, I can still get Mazar ulted, Warwick ulted, and die if my team doesn't play around me properly or if I don't focus the right targets. Target selection is extremely important in this game. You'll realize that more or less. While target selection in Modern League is, the more you think about it, doesn't matter much. Like, as long as you kill some people, you're gonna get Death's Dance reset with fucking Triumph proc, with Endless Hunger, bonus Omnivamp, with a lot of champions having some insane reset mechanics, and you'll basically go back to full HP by just focusing the useless support. But if I waste my Scion Q on the support in this game or on the tank, I might be paying a big price, boys. I might actually be solo losing the games. It did happen, bro. Like, I lost fucking team fights focusing on fucking improve. So yeah, speed this up a bit, see what's going on. So the occult again, as we're just super snowballing. I know this guy is super low level. I don't have Abyssal Scepter this time, but it's just funny you can place the Zillion bomb. Let's check the damage. 532 bomb damage. Now keep in mind this Zillion, his E, like, he's just not that crazy and he doesn't stun you. So he's just a lot more offensive. He can do pretty big burst damage. Bomb on my head, run into this Bazaar. Boom, baby! That's so fucking funny. The animation is kind of colorful. I can see the rainbow on the Zillion bombs. Tell him to revive me. And then I pop my ult after the revive. After you get revived, your buffs disappear. So then we live still on these kids, keep diving them, and just having some fucking fun. Sir 20 Goodman. And this managed to take me down because we don't have our ultimates, we overextend too much, and we still get fucking killed, bro. Even with all that armor. Not much magic resistance. I ended up buying an Abyssal Scepter, since I had the full gold. Kinda same thing here, we got even more magic damage now with Ezreal. And... okay, now... we are trying to end again, but we're running to the Nexus, I think. And then I get Mazahar and Warwick ulted, MGP, even with just 20 of us. They end up taking me down, bro. I believe Mazahar W is max health. His E does a lot of damage even from support. And they fucking kill you. You know, it ain't even close, baby. Let's move to the next team fight, because I told you, we actually struggled a couple times, people fucked around. We didn't group properly now to 5-man end, and we just couldn't win it 4 vs 5. We just couldn't, bro. Tariq went a bit too far. He's not that tanky. He has to play a bit more backline behind me and throw his abilities. Zillion did not have his revive. We just get fucked one by one, and they make an epic comeback. Tristana, one of the strongest late game champions in the game, can completely fuck us. And guess what? Then we lose another team fight. Singe got Chansey Seed. Zillion couldn't get in range to revive me because I was trying to flank them. I only killed one person. And then I'm getting focused by 4 people. My team cannot get in range to follow up. Gangplank is pretty fucking strong right now. We get fucking aced again. And we are up like 30 kills. We just, you know, fucked around, went to their Nexus, yeah, we could have ended, but it just goes to show you that it's quite possible to make comebacks in this game because it's just designed in a different way. You don't need a million objective, bounty, catch-up, these nuts, 1.2k gold shutdowns, and whatever the fuck. Now I'm holding my R, like we play this fight a bit smarter. Strange gets a nice engage on the Tristana. They use all the ults on me. I hold my ult, so after I revive, I have the life steal and attack speed. And the team fight becomes a lot easier and we end up closing it out. But you still have to play well. Nothing is for free in this game, okay? Now I'm gonna talk about the runes, masteries and items. G motherfucking G. So for the runes, I fucked around with the damage per level a bit, but I realized that it takes too long doing some calculations for them to be more valuable than attack speed, which is also quite strong early game because SION just doesn't have that much attack speed in his kit, in his builds, and it takes like level 12 to truly outscale this with the damage per level. So just go attack speed. Armor per level is much better. The early armor is actually quite useless because your passive reduces a lot of damage, and versus some camps you essentially have Jax E because the shield is so fat that the camp never gets to hit you even once sometimes. So armor per level is amazing, HP per level pretty bad. Sun doesn't like health that much, he wants resistances because he has very high effective health. And then I go this amount of ability power with some glyphs to be able to have better wave clear breakpoints because the minions scale their health with level and stuff like that. And also just for the early clear, without this you cannot kill the small raids at level 2, which saves you like 5 seconds, and SION scales quite well with AP. Even if you don't detonate the damage, you still get extra shield, so this is making you tankier. Then I'm just trying to get some CDR, so it's easy if I don't have blow buff to have 40%. I'm always getting like 20% CDR item, plus the jungle item is 10%. Combining that, I just put some magic resistance here because, well, you never know when it saves you. MR is really good to have on these runes. I wish I could run more. Technically, you could put 6 of them if you want to give up some CDR and maybe find a way in your build, or just rely on blue buff. But yeah, this is what I run for now. And for the master, it's very offensive because more damage means faster clear, which SION needs. He's very tanky in the jungle. More lifesteal with your ultimate, and also just like strong ganks and stuff like that, a good burst damage. You can only run 4 points here. I really like the ghost movement speed, that's like huge value for 1 point. The AP helps with wave clearing and gives you some health. Magic penetration, like I'd rather have armor pen, but I prefer having the blast 4 points. Flat AP, spell sword, little min max with 1 point, 2%, quite good. Also saves you some AP on glyphs. For the breakpoint, lethality works against monsters. This is gonna make your lifesteal more throughout the game, is great, and yeah, of course execution is pretty strong. And then you're just going mana as much as possible. I like the improved recall, it's like useful for a lot of things, just like escaping bad situations and having more time on the map. You can also do some math here. How much do you have to walk on the map to get the same value from 1 point in Wanderer compared to 1 second of recall? And you can just calculate it in units. And you'll see it's a pretty big difference, because you probably have to walk for like 2 minutes with 1 point in this, compared to just having, you know, walking a second earlier on the map, if you know what I mean. Runic Affinity on junglers, especially like SION, is quite broken. You want those buffs for long as possible, they are both amazing for SION. So for just having more mana on the map, this is very, very good. You could be tankier. It would also be easier to clear with your W if you took bladed armor. So that could be potentially a different setup where you skip AP entirely. I might test that, where I'm trying to run movement speed and different glyphs and relying on blade armor to finish camps easier instead of going full into AP. But the early burst plus the mana, I think, is worth interacting with. But that's just like other stuff you can consider on SION. I'm giving you all of my thoughts. And then if we go to items, obviously you can buy any of the stacking ones, as I said. Action Crate is a great component. Even Phage can be nice. QSS is pretty strong on a character like SION. It also has 45 MR and builds out of Negatron Cloak, so that's nice. If we start thinking about legendaries, I think Shard of True Ice is okay, because it's gonna make some of the gold back, and it makes you kind of hard to kite if you know you can get on the target easily. It's just gonna be easy to do your stuff. So I don't think it's bad, especially if you get a lot of kills. It's sort of an investment. If you think you don't want a stacking item, maybe it's just a higher quality game, I guess. But I think Twin Shadows are also pretty good, because yeah, this is for SION, you're basically getting tanky from this, so it's nice. MS is pretty much one of the best tanks on one of the best stats on SION. Any MS item is super useful on this character if you can make the trade-off to get it. But I would like this against stealth. If you play against Twitch, you can run them down with Twin Shadows, and it's generally a decent engage item if you're like the only hard engage on your team and you really have to set up something and engage on the backline, etc. I wouldn't worry too much about Executioner's Calling, but if you really have to get it, crit chance on SION is a decent stat. You will lifesteal a decent amount. On the other hand, Morello only works when people are low life. The duration on this is pretty low. Healing reduction is pretty conditional in this game. I would mostly avoid both of these items because usually there are better champions to apply them. And if you communicate with people, if you play with friends, you can play around this. Ancient Golem is great if you don't want to sell your Berserker's Greaves or Mercs. HP is not a good on SION, but for 2k gold, getting these stats, the regen, the CDR, it can be solid. Even though you don't stack the Butcher passive, it doesn't boost your clear to get 2 jungle items like this. I think it's still viable. It's pretty much the best source of tenacity in the game. Wit's End is quite good. The item itself is just solid, cheap, great stats. In general, I would prefer attack speed items on SION if I'm playing versus low CC, not a lot of escapes. You can auto-attack more freely and you can get more value. That's when I would prioritize these items. Sword of the Divine. If you are really far ahead and kind of similar to this, like you can easily burst someone without them having good disengage. Pop, pop, pop. You crit them. You can also lifesteal a lot from fights around. I wouldn't say it's bad at all for SION. Tormail is amazing. You combine it with Frozen Heart versus an AD heavy team, auto-attackers, you are just gonna be dealing so much damage, being unkillable. 100 armor is so much effective health for SION. It's really solid item, and few characters in this game currently have as much effective health as SION. Maybe none of them really. SION might just be the tankiest character in the game right now. You could say Mundo, but I doubt it. His healing is not that crazy right now. Locket can work to block some area damage, some supportive ability if you don't have a better option to help your team survive, on the last slots usually on this Sun Jungle build. Soul Shroud, it's only health, you prefer resistances, but if no one is getting it and you think CDR and mana regeneration is valuable, then I'm not mad about Soul Shroud at all. Like, it's just gonna do the job, Okay, Atlas Impeller. It's more like a late game thing, I guess it would work, but usually there are better options, I would say, that just have more slot efficiency in late game. Matter of command if you have a specific plan, if we learn more about the game. Could for sure be valuable because the stats are fine for SION, not really a problem, it's a cheap item. If you think about Mikhails, it can be built if you want to have that utility to win the game, no problem. Stark Fervor, it simply does the job. It's definitely an item you can buy for 20% CDR, because I want at least one of the 20% CDR items every game. Abyssal Sepsis, we already talked about it. Winston's Rageblade is surprisingly good on SION, and I would for sure want to have it into a team that's more melee stat checky focused and more just like hitting each other all the time. Teens is one of the core items for me if I'm playing versus a team where I don't want Frozen Heart and I care more about magic resistance. This is essentially a tank item. It gives you like 10% of your max health-ish. On the restore, it's kind of like a Triumph in Modern League. AP, MR, CDR mana regen solves your mana issues, and that's kind of how I look to build SION. I want at least a mana item and at least a 20% CDR item. That is for sure the best value. Force of Nature is great for the MS, effective health. Against magic teams, slap that with Shushay, Mana Jug. You are gonna be very tanky. Sunfire, more like a full AD comp if you already got some other items. It can work for the base damage. I wonder if Atmos is just gonna be better because it's also damage and armor, but you're gonna be healing probably more than this health and also dealing more damage, so I'm not sure if I would ever build Sunfire on Scion. Innervating Locket, if you want it to have as a mana item, it could work. You just don't spam that many abilities, but if you have CDR, they're still pretty low cooldown. And you want a mana item, so you could do Spirit Visage for 20% CDR instead of Frozen Heart or Shushay, and then you could get mana from a Locket or maybe even a Soul Shroud. Other than that, I think Humus Ghostblade is a bit too cheesy. I would rather have like a Phantom Dancer for more consistency. But who knows, it's a powerful active and you will deal a lot of damage. You can pop it with your ult. GA is amazing, you can revive, press R after the revive, potentially, and just in general getting extra QW rotation in fights can be massive. Like just you respawn, you stun someone in the team fight, you can completely turn the tides. Good effective health anyway. Banshee, I think almost never good. You'll have to have like a very niche reason to block a specific ability, because Visage and Force of Nature are really good on Scion. Phantom Dancer, if you want to be a pure carry, if it's needed, it's probably one of the best items for DPSing on auto-taking on Scion. Frozen Heart, Core, if you want to be more of a mage, if you're a solo AP, Liandry is a lot of damage. You're just spamming your spells on a tanky build. It does it up. Runic Bulwark is nobody gets it, one of the best items in the game to have at any point, really. It's going to be especially useful if you play against a lot of mages and your team is at risk of dying to Karthus ult or Cannon engage, whatever. Warmog, I'll probably never build it because you need to stack it and health is not that amazing of a step on Scion. Lichbane, you're not going to build much AP usually. Deathfire Grasp, it could work if you only care about nuking someone, like you have a priority target and all you care about is finding a way to explode your W and then just killing them with your combo, because you think that's just like the best way to have a chance at winning the game. But I'm doing more of a late game thing against AD carries. It's not bad. Bloodthirster is terrible because your ult lifesteals so much. I'd rather just have Ravenous Hydra against like some stacked champions, but even Ravenous Hydra suffers from the same problem, because you can just get a Phantom Dancer and lifesteal more than BT by just pressing R. Maw of Marmortius is amazing because it gives you a lot of damage and durability, so it's kind of a tank item of its own. Iceborne, I'll prefer Trinity. Trinity Force is really amazing item on side, so if you want to greed to get this item, because you use all of these stats, but especially the movement speed, and with 40% CDR, your cooldowns are still reasonably low to proc Trinity Force consistently, which is going to also turn into more lifesteal with the crit and attack speed and Shin proc. All of that stuff is good. Frozen Mallet, if you want to be unkiteable, it does work. Zonia, you're more of a tank, so you don't really care about this active. I would rather build something else for sure. Probably, yeah. Never Zonia. Don't go Zonia on Scion, please. It's just too expensive. You can just buy a Runic Bulwark or something like that. Mother's Blood Razor, maybe if you play versus 5 Bundos. Anyway, that would be it with the items. So, just to have it more simplistic, you buy attack speed boots, you buy Spirit of the Elder Lizard, you can replace boots for Tenacity or Ninja Tabi later, keep that in mind. You get something that helps you with mana, like Chalice, Glacial Shrouds. You're trying to build one of the 20% CTR items, like Spirit Visage, or Athen's Frozen Heart. If you want to go Visage, you could technically build a Catalyst and turn it into Innervating Locket to help with mana later. So it's like Catalyst, Visage. I'm not sure, I need to test that more. But that can be an extremely tanky combo for SION. And this would not be a super effective build, but if you really want these effects to cap your CDR and tenacity and just have like very cheap items coming in very quickly into mixed damage, you know, this is a bit autistic min-maxing, but you could go Ancient Golem plus Soul Shroud, so you have 10% from runes, then the other jungle item, and that's gonna be 40%. So like with Lizard. That's kind of a scuffed build, and you don't get resistances, but after that you can just slap in GA or Runic Bulwark and you should be fine. I mean, health is a pretty good stat in this game because champion has a low life pool, but for SION it's just not that amazing. I would only do this so that I can buy cheap items if I need tenacity and not sell my boots. So they will just come in very quickly and you get mana regeneration from these items, so it's gonna help with your mana issues as SION. Anyways, that's a bit too much, guys. Thank you for fucking watching, hope you appreciate all of these things. And if you support me, I make more content. If you don't support me, then I guess I'll have to play regular League of Legends, where I know that other people support me on Patreon and all of that. And keep an eye out for guides. And we can have fun on League Classic. Maybe you can even come play with me at Shimley Classic, whatever. G, motherfucking G, baby.